Hey, it's Bentley Kyle Evans, and welcome back to another episode of the Hollywood Blueprint. And today, we're going to talk about the created by credit. The created by credit is a very important credit when it comes to content creation. We're going to talk about who gets that credit and who doesn't get that credit. So sit back and enjoy because I'm going to break it down for you as we go along. Today, I want to spend a little bit of time talking about something that somewhat annoys me. I want to talk about the created by credit. Now, we've all seen TV shows for many years, many decades, and at the beginning, or sometimes at the end, but most likely in the beginning of the episode, after the main titles and the show comes on, you start to see the credits. There's always this created by credit. Now, what does that mean? What the created by credit really means is that whoever wrote the pilot is the creator of the show. Now, usually the Writers Guild of America will determine who gets that credit. That's why you have unions in place so that they can make sure that you get your fair deals and things like that. But the created by credit is reserved for the actual person that penned the script. Now, there are some rare instances where you have to share that created by credit with someone, even if they didn't write it with you, but it may have been their original idea and you wrote it for them. And then you have to still let the Writers Guild determine who gets that credit. For instance, I'll give you an example. In 1996, I created a show called The Jamie Foxx Show, which I'm sure some of you all know that story already. But I created the show with Jamie, and both of us share a created by credit. However, when we first did the show, I turned in the script to Warner Brothers, and they did not want to give Jamie the created by credit, the co-created by credit, because he didn't write the pilot script. So this became a point of contention with Jamie and myself and Jamie's management team at the time, because I think they thought that I didn't want to share the credit. Well, I had nothing to do with that. It's what the Writers Guild of America determined. They said that we make all decisions based upon drafts that have been turned in, based upon outlines, based upon things that have been registered with the same name of the show that we were coming up with. So at that point in time, what I had to do was sign a sworn affidavit basically saying that Jamie was very instrumental in creating the show. After all, it was his idea initially to do a show about a hotel, and he got me to pen the script. When someone feels like they should get a created by credit and they don't get it, that can be a bit of a point of contention with whoever you're dealing with because they feel as though they're being disrespected. Again, Jamie came to me with an idea that he had already thought out about doing a show about a hotel. So in my mind, he did create the scenario. I just colored inside the lines, and so therefore it should have been a co-creation. And also, for me, I felt that it was necessary for Jamie to get that created by credit alongside myself, because if he was a creator in it, that meant he owned stake in it, and that meant that he was going to be attached to the show for the duration of the show. I mean, let's say that he didn't get that created by credit, and then he got some big film, and he said, I'm not coming back to the show, I'm gonna go do this big film because it's more important to him, which I understood even before creating that show. So exactly what I predicted happened. He ended up getting Any Given Sunday while we were shooting the Jamie Foxx Show, and he needed to break away so that he could go do that, and that's part of his evolution that created the scenario for him to become a big movie star, was doing Any Given Sunday with Oliver Stone. We had to come up with all kinds of ways that we could shoot the show out and get him out in time so that he could go do that film. But as I As I think back upon the situation that had happened, like maybe 3 or 4 years prior to that, when we were creating the Jamie Foxx show, I just knew innately, I knew that you have to let this man have created by credit, and I have to do whatever I can do on my behalf to make sure that he gets that credit, and I did just that. Now, another point that I'd like to cover is that when someone hands me a script and on that script cover it says created by so and so, it drives me bananas. It shows me that they don't know what they're talking about. They're amateurs. They really need to rethink this whole entertainment, this whole writing thing, because they don't know what that means. Just because you have a concept doesn't mean you created that concept, or so the Writers Guild says so. You have to have written something, and you don't put it on a script because, again, it looks unprofessional. You just put written by, and that should suffice. So never turn in a script that says created by on the cover, because that will just make a producer or a network or studio exec really look at it and go, this person doesn't know what they're doing, and they probably will not want to do business with you on that particular project, because they know that you're a novice, and so they're looking to do business with real, true professionals. So the created by credit is reserved for the person that not just comes up with the concept, but who actually sits down and creates it by creating the world, creating the script. It's the writer's medium. That's what the created by credit would do for any writer. Now, again, just to bring the point home, the created by credit it's something that happens in the scripted realm. I don't know if the same rule applies in reality. I don't know if the same rule applies in documentaries, but I do know that it does definitely apply when it comes to written material, as such as dramas, action adventures, comedies, and things of that sort, whether it's television and sometimes in film, but most likely that credit would be reserved for television writers, and that's my 2 cents on that.